everyone, this is Slyk. I am the creator of North and South American Civil War versions 1 and version 2.0. Version 1 I released back in October of 2014, and in about October of 2016 decided that it was time for an update and a massive expansion of all the content. So I began work on version 2.0, which I just released a few days ago here at the end of January 2018. What I wanted to do today for you in several minutes was just give a walkthrough of the interface and all of the content that is available in 2.0 so that people can get a little bit of a jump start if you don't find what you need in the user guide, but I do highly encourage you to download the user guide. First off, most people are going to be playing single player, and unfortunately due to some issues with the Lewis scripting, which I am worse than a noob at, and some of the corruption issues I was having, I have elected to remove that, so you will see the ability to enter other parts of the vanilla Napoleon Total War game. You can. I would advise you not to, because all of your interface and your models and textures, things like that, will be corrupted. Definitely remove this mod, ACW2, from your data folder if you want to go back and play the vanilla game. So typically, single player, going to click on a play battle. And on land, there are no sea battles, siege battles, not yet. Give me some time. I might be coming up with some pretty interesting stuff for these other areas. So let's click on land battle, and you're going to see here on the left, if you click the map name column twice, you'll actually get the alpha sort in descending order, starting with Antietam and coming all the way down here 43 maps later at Wilson's Creek. And Wilson's Creek's a map I'm very familiar with. So, in setting up a quick battle, I'm going to use large funds on this just so we can talk a little bit more about what kind of armies are in there and see some of the different builds. And in the preview to the release video movie, there are views of all the armies that let you see what's in there. So, just starting off, the default army that always shows up is your Confederate 1st Manassas force, and the rest of the forces in here for the Confederates are the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Corps as they were at the Battle of Gettysburg in 1863. The Confederate Cavalry Corps is also added if you wanted to play Cav versus Cav battles. That can actually be a lot of fun. And in those, real quick, for cavalry, you've got your smaller unit vedettes at 50, an early war unit, mid-war, and late war cavalry, along with just a standard. The early, mid, and late, their unit qualities, morale, equipment, those kind of variables do change. So your late war units may have more repeating arms, where your early war units are basically going to be armed with shotguns, mid-war, muskets, and as I said, the late war will be more repeating arms. So you could build a diverse cavalry force there, and every now and then it's a lot of fun just to go out and play against another player or three, just using your cavalry. The other major additions in this version, 2.0, are the addition of the Army of the Tennessee, which with their leaders here, and of the new units from Cleburne and the Kentucky Orphan Brigade being the major additions of special brigades or regiments in version 2.0. And we'll talk about those in another video. And the coastal forces for the Confederacy, what you're going to see down here on the right is your artillery differences of 8-inch shell guns, 10-inch Columbiads, mortars, and a 32 and 42 pound coastal guns. I will tell you now, these are represented by the 10-pound Parrott model in the game because, again, I am not a model maker, and if anyone out there wants to make me models, I will be happy to include them in a future update to replace the Parrotts that are being used currently. So going back to take a quick look then at all the forces available on the Union side, the Union 1st Manassas, everyone as well as the Confederates. If you played version 1, you've seen that. There are a lot of unique units in there, such as the Marines, 1st Minnesota, and down here the 79th New York, and some gray-dressed militias for the Union forces. And the Confederates, just to be fair, looking at here, the 1st Special Louisiana Battalion, Wheats Tigers, 33rd Virginia, 1st Maryland, and then the other Confederate forces fill out the Confederate Manassas Army. So that's a quick look at all of the armies. If we just grab a couple here, way I like to build out a force, I generally throw in, depending on which Confederate brigade or which Confederate army, excuse me, that I'm playing with, of using an elite unit like the Texas Brigade, because they can provide morale boosts to all the nearby units. I usually use them as an elite with 2 or 3 regular infantry regiments under their grouping. So there we've got a basic build of what I would call 3 brigades, each led by an elite Texas regiment, and then to throw in 24th Georgia, and they're also an elite unit, so we'll give them, say, 3 regiments there. Now I've got 4 brigades of 4 regiments each. Then you come down to the artillery. You got to make a little bit of a choice here. With only 17, almost 1,800 left, we can get 1 4-gun 3-inch battery, and probably another 2. I like the 3-inch guns just because of the range. That leaves us 195 gold extra, and we will chevron that 2-gun battery to give them a little bit more punch, since there are only 2 guns there. Now for our Alliance 2, which will be our defending army right now, I'm going to highlight the 3rd Corps for the Union because they are a new addition, as well as the Army of the Cumberland and the Union Coastal Forces. Real quick on the Union Coastal troops, you've got the 54th Massachusetts and the colored U.S. infantry down here as options. But we're going to go back to the 3rd Corps since they're new. And you see a colonel is listed in here. William Brewster was colonel at Gettysburg but ended up leading a division. And the 3rd Corps is rather large because we've got several unique units, 114th Pennsylvania, 73rd, 74th New York, and there's Zouave uniforms along with the 70th and 72nd New York as the other 2 major regiments of the Excelsior Brigade. So the Union Veteran Infantry are also available in a limit of 2 of those, so you get a little bit better quality of the units that had re-enlisted. But we'll start off just adding in here all the Zouaves. And you can see there's your Excelsior Brigade plus the 114th Pennsylvania. And I'm going to put this army together a little bit differently. But each one of these brigades coming down through here, you get 2 regiments per brigade. And that is Graham's finishing up, and slap in a couple there. We got 2,200 left, and we'll give them 2 3-inch batteries. They're going to be tough. That's a pretty good build out there, and we can throw 2 chevrons on. We got a balance of 10 gold left for the AI right there. Now they'll build out and rearrange their army however they want to. You know how that happens. So there you have it. A quick build between the Confederate 1st Corps, Union 3rd Corps. So from here we're going to go back and come back all the way out to the main menu again. That was just showing you a quick setup for a single player land battle. The other major aspect here in the game is really the multiplayer. And if you want to play these scenarios, the historical scenarios are 25 of them spread across all the various maps. You can play online with other humans and a mix of AI if you'd like to, but I'm going to show you your local network, how you can do this at home by yourself against the AI. So clicking on local network, you need to host a game. You want to click scenario. If you come back here and you click on land, it is no different than running the single player version, and that doesn't really gain you anything. So we're going to focus right here on scenarios. So once we load to our scenario screen, we see that the map list is inverted alpha. So we'll just click in there and resort our list, and we're going to come down here to, let's say, Beaver Dam Creek 1v1, and take note that this is one of the battles. There's only a 2v2 or a 1v1 for this map, but we're going to play 1 versus 1. Come into host, and you're automatically set as the attacking army, but I strongly suggest that you play the defending force just due to the way the AI acts. It's not the best at defending. And you can take a look at our force down here, rather small, a lot of average units. And we need to add the AI. And don't worry about all these blanks. That is just a facet of the army being far larger than the 20 slots allocated here, so we're all good. So come back, just go ahead and kick that off. And while your map is loading, do want to point out that you should not panic if your loading bar down here comes all the way out to about 90%, 95% and hangs. If you're playing maps such as either the Pea Ridge maps or Wilderness or Chancellorsville, there are a lot of trees, and your machine will hang up down here while Speed Tree is planting all of those trees. So just bear with it. And Pea Ridge, either Elkhorn or Leetown, can take several minutes to render all those trees, but it will load. Just be patient. And here we are, we're in Beaver Dam Creek. You can see down here at the bottom all the units that can be displayed across there. And if we take, and we'll turn our camera down a little, just flying over here, you're going to see all the units and their approximate historical positions. And of course you can move those forces. What we do have on this scenario, back here to the rear, and the Confederates are shooting already. Back here to the rear, we have 2 brigades of Union reinforcements that you can bring up. And because I can't control via script when units enter the battle, since I can't time any of that, most units all start, well, not most, all units do start on the board. So that's a quick look at a scenario and how they set up. You can see the Confederates here with their artillery basically where it was placed. They have unlimbered and started shooting, and you can see their various infantry now moving up from their start positions. You see some dust back here where 2 brigades, it looks like, are coming in on the road as a reserve. And those units that were already out here deployed are moving up, and Confederate artillery, 3 batteries are moving up here. So I'll give you a quick look at that. So that's a historical scenario for you on a map that is also available in single player or for your custom battles, and all of your predisposed positions. And of course here on Beaver Dam, as well as some of the other maps, you do have some earthwork protections for your units, and they do make a difference, so be smart and use them. So we'll just exit out of here as we've had a quick look at that. And there's your army screen. You can see here we had about a little over 14,000 total units would have been involved in that scenario at 50% of the actual strengths from that day. So that's a pretty sizable forces there. So that's a quick look at how to set up a single player or a multiplayer historical scenario battle. And I'll be putting together some more guides and insider looks at how some of this stuff all came together in the near future. Thanks for watching.